Alright guys, quick video on windscreen wipers or windshield wipers, whatever you want to call it. Basically midline strengthening movement, good for stability and obviously strengthening. So can be done with a barbell. A barbell provides a lot more stability and basically helps you stabilise yourself through the movement, and also gives you something to control the movement off as well, because it's sort of a fixed object. A little bit harder, you can start to incorporate some kettlebells doing this one. Obviously they're going to be a little bit harder because there's two implements to control. They don't really provide much stability, and you can't really talk off two individual objects like you can with the barbell. So for these ones, if you're just new to them or you're pretty unstable, just start using the barbell, and then obviously you can move towards the individual objects or the kettlebells at a later stage. Now with your barbell, don't be fooled by having weight on thinking that it's going to be easier. Up to a certain extent, the more weight that you put on the barbell, the actually easier it's going to make the actual windshield wiper motion, basically, because you're going to have more force pushing you down through the ground, so it's going to secure you a lot more. So and also you're getting a lot of sort of strength through the shoulders and the chest area as well, just holding that weight off the ground. So don't be afraid to put a little bit of weight on. The hardest part about this thing is actually getting it off the ground and locking it out into place. So I'll show you a side view and then I'll turn around and show you a front view, so we can pick up the actual movement of the legs. Okay. So when you're getting into this, try and elevate the barbell so you can actually slide underneath it. That's why it's always good to use the Olympic plates or the large plates, so you can actually slide your body up underneath it. Most of the time though, you won't have access to those. So you're just going to have to do the best you can, try and elevate the barbell so you can slide underneath it and sort of press it up like a bench press. But other than that, just get into it as safe as possible. So most of the time, the way to get into these things is to sit yourself down, pick your barbell up, roll it into your hip, get a little bit comfortable, roll yourself down. Now this is the part you have to be careful of, because you're bringing your weight from here and you're bringing it forward. Okay, it's a little bit of stress on the shoulders. Again, you can get around that a few different ways. So laying nice and flat. Let's turn it into the first or the upper part of the glute bridge. Okay, so we can glute bridge it up, then we can press it up, then bring our glutes or our back to the ground. Alrighty, straighten myself out. I'm just in a pressing position, or arms, hands just outside shoulders. The barbell is above my chest. Okay, if I was drawing a line through the barbell and my chest, alright, it'd be nice and straight. Now the first movement is obviously activating our midline or our core. Right, the bar's going to stay nice and stable up above the chest, and then we're going to lift our feet up, lock them out, point our toes if we can, come down to about, I don't know, maybe about 6 inches off the ground if we can, and then we're going to commence the wiping motion. So we go over, try and touch the plate on one side, 6 inches, over to touch the other, and return back to where we started. Now that is one, okay? So that's one rep. So you have to return to the side that you started at to count a rep. Alright, so if you start on one side and finish on one side, that is only half a rep. Okay, so you do need to take that return trip back to where you started. Alright, so what you're going to find is that if you don't have the strength to do that quite yet, then you're going to have to substitute the movement. So you can do a little bit of a toes to bar movement. Okay, so you can come up, bring your toes to the bar if you can. Alright, and lower them back down to the ground. Whenever you're doing these movements, though, you want to try and keep your feet off the ground the whole time. Okay, so try to prevent yourself from doing the movement and then relax balancing on the ground. Try to do the movement and stop, and then into the next one. That just means you're holding tension, or you're staying contracted through the midline. Okay, so I'm just going to spin around and give you a front-on view of the leg movement. So we come up, one side, 6 inches down, other side, 6 inches down, and return to the other side. Okay. How I dismount that, again, bring the legs in, kicks back up, lower my barbell, and sit myself. That's probably going to be the best way to dismount the movement and obviously get the barbell up there. Alright, so just to hash on the different movement, the different objects. You've got your kettlebells. Again, you're going to have to get into these the best you can. Just be mindful of your shoulders and your back. Alrighty. So picking your kettlebells up, laying down, pressing up. Now there's not much stability there, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to move it. So again, I'm just coming up, bringing my legs up as much as I can, and making the return trip. Like so, okay? Then dismounting however you feel is comfortable. And that's the windshield wiper.